P.O, how did it feel to be up on that stage honoring Tanger?
Yeah, I mean, when Jen asked me, it wasn't really an option. I really wanted to, give back to him. He gave so much to me this year, and I can't really show my appreciation until I do things like that. But he means the world to me, and I look up to him for the last X amount of years since I'm a kid, basically. So it's not easy to go out there and speak to people, but for him, I would do anything.
What was last season like as his teammate, as his friend, seeing him go through one thing after another, just trying to be there for him? He's supportive of things like that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not something you want someone in your surrounding to go through. I don't think you want anybody in their life to go through something like that in this amount of time. But being able to be there with him and the chemistry that we built towards during the years just show that once he needs me, I'm there. But once I need him, he's also there. So for me, it means the world to have someone as like Kris, look after me, and for me to look up to someone like that. So it's I'm honored, really. I think that's the word, to be surrounded by him, and to see him like that was really tough this year. But like I said, I think his spirit is always positive. So to see him smiling now, it's really fun.
What are some things you've really learned from him about what it takes to be, a defenseman in the NHL? And
anything from food standpoint to sleep to how understanding you, how you understand the game, how you see yourself, how you evaluate yourself. You always do something good, but you can always do something better. And Kris always showed me that you play your best game, but there's always another best game that you can bring. So either this or off the ice is just a great human being in general. And the way he gives back, the way he's good with his family, and the way he speaks himself out of, it's really fun. So I'm really lucky to have someone to look up after like this.
What kind of example? Obviously, no one would want him to go through what he went through this year. But what kind of example does he set for not only for you but other players and just in general the way he handled it this year?
Yeah, I think it just showed that there's always going to have tough time, and to be surrounded by good people and by your teammates, by your family, it's always important. And it's stuff like that happens in life, and it's always about how you come back from things like that. So I think he answered well after his comeback, and we're just happy to see him back in the locker room because he's a big piece of us for sure.
When he called you to tell you that he had the stroke for the second time, did it enter your mind that he might not ever play hockey again?
For a little bit, I feel like he wasn't, but no, it was like a 5-second after I knew he was going to jump on the ice 2 or 3 days after, and but he's like that, his life is surrounded by hockey and his family and the passion that he has for the game, and it's his home. So being there on the ice makes him feel better. So I was just happy that he got back on his feet and skate again.
If he wasn't here tonight, he might be working out. Can you talk about explain just how dedicated he is to the business of being a pro hockey player? He's been here for 17 seasons for a reason.
Yeah, even last year, I remember after the season, he basically didn't take a day off, and I was like, you're getting to a point where you need a little time for yourself, your family, and stuff. But his answer was, you can always be better, and you can always improve on yourself. So seeing this always wants you to perform, and I didn't want to take a break after the season. I want to be like Kris, I want to improve my strength, so I gotta do exactly like him. But it just shows how a professional athlete needs to be like, and he's the perfect example of someone who's been playing in the league for that many years.
Merci.